What is up, guys? It's Rules for Rebels here, and today we're talking about weed stocks. Marijuana stocks. Obviously, marijuana stocks have been kind of hot for a few years here. I think it was probably back in, I don't know, 2010 or so. I first started trading a lot of these weed stocks. And lately, now that a lot of states have legalized both medical marijuana as well as recreational marijuana, there's a lot of new weed stocks and REITs and everything else coming out. So there's kind of a renewed interest in weed stocks, and I think a lot of people who smoke weed and ha ha ha, weed's cool, want to invest in weed stocks. So I've been getting a lot of questions about this lately. Also I'm pretty active on some of the Reddit investing forums, and I see a lot of people talking about weed stocks on there. Like, I want to invest my life savings in weed stocks or weed stocks to the moon. So I just wanted to take a second to talk a little bit about weed stocks and share my opinion on weed stocks. Okay, guys. So I'll be right up front with it real quick. I'm not a huge fan of weed stocks. Have I invested in them in the past? Yes, I have. Have I made money on them? Yeah, I've made a couple bucks on them in the past. Have I lost money? I've lost my ass on them too. And in the long run, when you consider what I've made off them and what I've lost off them, I think I'm probably down 1,200 bucks. So my advice is to stay away from weed stocks. And here's why. I don't think that, I do think medical marijuana and recreational weed is going to be like a huge, huge business opportunity moving forward. That said, just because an industry is good doesn't mean that an individual company or an individual stock is going to be good. Also, something I've noticed about weed stocks, a lot of these companies are like small stocks, penny stocks, OTC stocks. They're not really regulated as stringently, or they don't have to report their earnings and things like that and their cash flow as strictly as some other larger companies out there. So I feel like a lot of these companies are kind of pump and dump penny stocks. A lot of these weed stocks that I was investing in 5, 6, 7, 8 years ago are no longer around today. A lot of the ones that maybe had a bump and were trading for a couple bucks are down to trading for like a fraction of a penny now. So money can be made off weed stocks, but I feel like it's kind of like a boiler room situation. If you've never seen the movie Boiler Room, give it a watch. It's Vin Diesel, and I like the other guy who's in it. He played Phoebe's goofy younger brother in Friends. If you guys ever watched that show, but he's kind of the main character. Vin Diesel's in it. Ben Affleck's in it. It's a great movie, but it's about like pump and dump stockbrokers and penny stocks and all that. And basically, what it is, these penny stocks will drive a bunch of interest and everything, raise the price up, and then all the insiders will sell at the same time, take their money. The stock crashes, and everybody else is left holding the bag. And that's, you may have heard the term bag holders. That's what that is. So, can you make money off penny stocks? Absolutely. Can you lose a lot of money? Are they volatile? Absolutely. My advice is to stay away from weed stocks. Just, excuse me, just on the off chance that you guys are interested in weed stocks, here's just a few of them off the top of my head. CBIS, Cara, TMWJF, AMMJ, and POT. Feel free to check the ticker symbols. I'm going to take you guys over to CBIS in just a second and show you the ticker, show you the chart. This is kind of a funny one. I remember, we're probably talking, I don't know, maybe 6 years ago. I remember I first kind of got turned on to CBIS. I was kind of swing trading it. I buy it at 3 cents, sell it at 6 cents, buy it back when it dropped down to 4 cents, sell it back at 5 or 6 cents, and I made a little bit of money doing that. I remember at one point I was going to make a larger buy. I had a buy order in at 6 cents. I think the stock was currently sitting at like 7 or 8 cents, which was what I believe was its like 52-week high. And I thought it was going to come back down to 6, and then I had a limit order set. So basically, when the stock price hit 6 cents, it would just automatically make the purchase for me. Well, I kept an eye on it for a couple days. It hadn't dropped down to 6 cents. All of a sudden, one day I check it, and it's at like 48 cents. Keeps climbing. It's at 68 cents. It's at 70 cents. I think within probably 4 to 6 days, it was up trading at upwards of $1.50. It may have even gone up to $1.78 or $1.80. Now, can you imagine if I had bought a crap load of it? You don't even need that much of the stock to make a big gain there. But can you imagine if I bought like $1,000 of the stock at 6 cents and it went up to $1.78 or whatever? You'd make an absolute killing off it. So I was really kicking myself for not getting in on that one. But guess what? Within probably a couple more days, it was right back down to like 20 cents and continued to fall to like 6 cents. And right now I'm going to pause the video and take you over to the stock chart, and you can see where that one's trading at right now. Okay, so we're over looking at the Google Finance stock chart for CBIS, which is Cannabis Science. Today's low is 3 cents. Today's high is 4 cents. Um, which that swing right there is essentially 25%. So you could have made 25% on that stock in the last day. In the last 5 days, let's see what the stock's doing. 4 cents, 3 cents, 4 cents, 3 cents. So a lot of people are like swing trading this stock. So it may not seem like a lot, making a penny off each share, but if you have a lot, you can buy a lot of shares, at this cheap price. So a lot of people will buy it at 3, try to sell it at 4, rebuy it at 3, sell it at 4, and just kind of swing trade like that and try to make some money. They're not even showing the 52-week high. Let's see. In the past year, it's been as low as a penny and as high as 6 cents. Let's see if we can look back at 5 year. Okay. Oh, wow. So it must have been over 5 years ago that I was invested in the stock, because we'll see you'll get a jump up to 22 cents and then it comes crashing back down. But this is what I mean by this being a penny stock. Um, if I'm not mistaken, I think years ago I looked up the company's corporate address, and it was like some abandoned warehouse. Like I feel like a lot of these companies aren't even real companies; they're basically like shell corporations put together just to run like a pump and dump penny stock scheme. But I mean, let's see here. Reddit weed stocks. I mean, there's a ton of interest. A lot of people are weed stocks. Let's ride the green rush. I mean, there's subreddits devoted to this. I just put my inheritance into medical marijuana stocks. If you want to get involved in these weed stocks, be my guest, go right ahead. But realize that you're really just gambling. And for those of you guys who are like high risk, high reward type people, there's a Reddit forum called Wall Street Bets, and it's not just about weed stocks. Oh wow, they turned this into a private group. It used to be public. Um, can I join? Can I? Can I? I'm not sure why they did that. This is kind of like a vulgar group. People are always like swearing and calling each other's names. And like, if you're like, hey guys, I just put 5 grand in on such and such stock, um, people will be like, oh, you broke ass, da da da. I want to, somebody will make uh, a suggestion like, oh, I think I might pick up some Disney stock. I think I might be able to make 3%. And if people will be like, go over to investing. This is Wall Street Bets. I want to have a yacht in 3 weeks. So it's basically high risk, high reward. I'm going to put all my money into these high risk stocks. There's actually been a couple good articles. I don't know if it was Forbes or one of those investing magazines. And they talk about some of these like 17-year-old kids who are active on Wall Street Bets, and they'll put like their life savings in on some like super risky penny stock. And I think there was one story of a 17-year-old who ran like $500 up to like $65,000 in a matter of a couple hours, and then wound up losing it all. And that's what a lot of people on Wall Street Bets do. They were having a lot of fun with the shipping stocks as they were going crazy, or the dry goods or shipping stocks when they were going crazy recently. But I won't ramble on too much longer, guys. But the point of this is I would stay away from weed stocks. Regular stocks, normal stocks, S&P 500, Russell Index, all these normal stocks, ETFs, etc., are going through the moon. You really don't need to be that risky into these weed stocks. If you do want to dabble in them, go open up a Robinhood account where you can trade for free. Maybe throw $500 in there and play around with these weed stocks and some penny stocks. But yeah, personally, I'm not a big fan of them. There is one weed stock which isn't even out yet. I think they're trying to IPO, and I think there's a few other similar ones. But First Cannabis, REIT. I like REITs, what are the real estate trusts or whatever. They pay good dividends. There's there's oftentimes a lot of good gains and things like that. And American, ACAN. Let's see if they're public yet. ACAN. Oh, well, I guess it is. Um, this was a company, I haven't checked on this one in a while. This is a company that's an REIT, so like a real estate fund, for the medical marijuana industry. So because even though weed's recreational in California now and Colorado and everything else, it still is illegal federally. And because of that, like banks don't want to deal with weed companies, merchant processors don't want to deal with weed companies, and a lot of times, landlords, building owners, etc., don't want to lease space to a weed growing business or dispensary or whatever else. So I guess it's the aim of what's this company, American, to basically buy up warehouses and things like that and lease space to the medical marijuana industry or the recreational marijuana industry. So I do know, it's no secret that they have a hard time finding leases and getting space for their businesses. So I do think this is kind of a space that needs to be filled. If this company, manages the money well and buys good properties and gets, good companies in there. I could see this being good. I really haven't looked, back when I was eyeing this stock, it wasn't even public yet. Um, I really wanted to see a chart. To kind of see where it opened up at and where it's sitting now. But this is a one weed stock that does hold a little bit of interest for me in general, though I'm not a huge fan of the weed stocks, guys. So let me know your thoughts. Do you guys have some weed stocks that you've been trading? Have you made money on them? Have you lost money on them? Let me know your thoughts if you think they're good investments, if you think they're bad investments, if it's gambling. Drop a comment in the comment section below. If you are not subscribed, please click that subscribe button below. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. And if you want to share it, please feel free to share it. Thanks a lot for watching, guys, and I will catch you on the next video.